NFT, flipping minted millionaires overnight in 2021. A pixelated ape sold for $3.4 million. A JPEG of a rock sold for $1.3 million. Teenagers were making $50,000 per week flipping cartoon characters. It looked like the easiest money in history. Then it collapsed. 97% of NFT collections are now worth zero. The people who got rich sold to the people who lost everything. Most flippers are sitting on worthless JPEGs they can't give away. This video breaks down what NFT flipping actually was, why the math never worked for most people, what killed the market, and whether anything is left worth touching in 2026. NFT flipping meant buying NFTs at mint price or floor price and selling them higher to the next buyer. You'd mint a new collection for 0.08 ETH. The collection hypes up. Floor price rises to 1 ETH. You sell. You made 12 times. Simple in theory. You needed to pick winning collections before they pumped. You needed to sell before they dumped. You needed gas fees to cooperate. You needed the broader NFT market to stay hot. Every single one of those conditions had to be true simultaneously. They rarely were. In 2021, the NFT market hit $25 billion in trading volume. Bored Ape Yacht Club launched at 0.08 ETH and pumped to 150 ETH floor. CryptoPunks sold for millions. Every celebrity launched a collection. Every influencer shilled their favorite project. New collections minted out in seconds. Discord servers exploded with hype. FOMO was everywhere. People remortgaged houses to buy NFTs. People took out loans. It felt like early Bitcoin. Everyone who bought early got rich. Everyone who bought late got destroyed. Minting NFTs required paying Ethereum gas fees. During peak hype, gas fees hit $200 to $500 per transaction. You'd try to mint a 0.08 ETH NFT, $150 at the time. Gas fee, $300. Your actual cost, $450. The collection would need to pump 3 times just to break even on fees. Many popular mints caused gas wars. Thousands of people trying to mint simultaneously drove fees to $1,000 plus. Some people paid $800 in gas fees and still failed to mint because someone else's transaction confirmed first. They lost $800 and got nothing. The Ethereum network profited. You didn't. Insiders always knew which collections would pump. NFT influencers with large followings got whitelist spots for free. They minted at zero cost while you paid full price. They pumped the collection to their audiences. You bought from them at peak price. They sold, you held bags. This pattern repeated constantly. The people who appeared to make money from NFTs were either early insiders or influencers who got paid to shill. Regular people buying based on hype were always last in line. By the time you heard about a collection, the people who were going to make money already made it. Much of the NFT market volume was fake. Wash trading means buying and selling to yourself to create the illusion of demand. You own wallet A and wallet B. You sell an NFT from A to B for 10 each. That's recorded as a 10 ETH sale. Volume goes up. Floor price appears to rise. New buyers see the activity and buy in. You sell to them at the inflated price. Example. A report found that 80% of NFTs traded on Looks Rare in 2022 were wash trades. The volume was fabricated. The prices were manipulated. Real buyers entered a fake market and lost real money. NFT floor prices look like real prices. But floor price is the cheapest listed NFT. It doesn't mean you can sell at that price. Real scenario, collection floor is 1 ETH. You try to sell your NFT at 0.9 ETH to move quickly, no buyers. You drop to 0.7% ETH, still no buyers. The floor drops to 0.5% ETH as panic sets in. You sell at 0.4% ETH to get out. You bought at 1 ETH. You lost 60%. The floor price was an illusion. Actual liquidity was a fraction of what it appeared. Most NFTs had no real buyers at any price once the hype cycle ended. NFT creators charged 5% to 10% royalties on secondary sales. Every time their NFT traded, they got paid. Platforms like OpenSea enforced this. Then Blur launched. They made royalties optional. Suddenly, buyers chose platforms that bypassed royalties. Volume shifted to Blur. OpenSea lost 90% of market share. Creators lost their royalty income. Projects lost their revenue model. Teams abandoned collections. Floor prices collapsed. The entire economic model that made NFTs seem like sustainable businesses evaporated in months. The crypto bear market started in 2022. NFTs crashed harder than crypto. Why? NFTs have zero utility. Bitcoin and Ethereum have network effects and real use cases. NFTs in most cases had neither. The numbers Bored Ape floor went from 150 ETH to 25 ETH each, a 83% drop. CryptoPunks fell similarly. 95% of smaller collections went to zero completely. Trading volume dropped from $25 billion in 2021 to $700 million in 2023. A 97% collapse. Most collections had zero trades for months. The market was effectively dead for retail flippers. Celebrities launched NFT collections promising utility, events, exclusive access. Justin Bieber bought a Bored Ape for $1.3 million. It's now worth $60,000. Madonna bought one for $570,000, now worth $25,000. Paris Hilton, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, all promoted NFTs to their audiences. Their fans bought, the market crashed, fans lost, the celebrities moved on. In some cases, celebrities faced lawsuits for promoting collections that collapsed. The celebrity endorsement was never due diligence, it was paid promotion, almost nothing. 3 categories have residual value. Blue chips, CryptoPunks and Bored Apes still trade but 80 to 90% below peak. Digital art from established artists, a tiny niche of genuine collectors buying from real artists. Gaming NFTs, a few games use NFTs for actual in-game items with real utility. Everything else, profile picture collections, generative art projects, metaverse land, music NFTs, essentially worthless. If you bought into any of the thousands of hyped collections from 2021 to 2022, your NFTs are probably worth zero. Trading volume is a fraction of 2021 levels. New collections launch regularly but rarely gain traction. The speculative frenzy is gone. Most serious money moved to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and DeFi. NFTs still exist, but as a tiny niche. Gaming NFTs show some promise. Digital art for genuine collectors persists. Speculative flipping as a strategy is dead. The people still buying NFTs in 2026 are either true believers, gamers using them functionally, or people who didn't learn from 2022. NFT gains were taxable. Every flip was a taxable event. You minted an NFT for 0.08 ETH each, sold for 1 ETH. That's 0.92 ETH in taxable gains. Multiply by 50 flips. You owe taxes on significant gains. The cruel part, many people paid taxes on 2021 gains using 2022 money. But in 2022, their portfolio collapsed. They owed taxes from profitable 2021 trades, while their current holdings were worth nothing. People owed $50,000 in taxes on gains that no longer existed. Some had to sell at a loss to pay tax bills. The tax timing destroyed people who thought they were managing it properly. People took loans against their NFTs as collateral. Your Bored Ape is worth 100% ETH. You borrow 50 ETH against it. Then the ape crashes to 20% ETH. Margin call. You can't cover it. Your ape gets liquidated. You lost the NFT, and you still owe the loan. NFTFI and BenDAO were platforms facilitating this. When NFT prices collapsed, mass liquidations happened. People who thought they were smart using their NFTs as collateral lost both the NFT and the borrowed funds. Virtual real estate in the sandbox and Decentraland was supposed to be the future. People paid $100,000 plus for digital plots of land. The vision, millions of users living in virtual worlds. Reality, Decentraland has under 1,000 daily active users. The sandbox is barely used. The metaverse vision never materialized. The land is worthless. People who paid $500,000 for virtual real estate can't give it away. Mark Zuckerberg lost $40+ billion chasing the metaverse dream. Regular investors lost everything chasing the same fantasy. The people who made real money from NFTs fall into three categories. Creators, artists who sold NFTs at peak prices, got paid real money for digital art. They won. Early insiders, people who got whitelist spots, minted cheap, and sold at peak. They won by having information you didn't have. Exchanges and platforms, OpenSea made $600 million in fees during the NFT boom. They won regardless of prices. Everyone else buying at retail prices lost. The structure was designed to reward the people who built it, not the people who participated. NFTs as speculative assets are dead for retail. The window closed in 2022. NFTs as digital ownership tools might have future applications: gaming, ticketing, digital identity. But these are utility applications, not speculative investments. If you're thinking about buying NFTs to flip in 2026, you're 4 years too late. The market that made flipping profitable no longer exists. You're not getting in early. You're getting in at the end of a dying trend. The $500 you were going to spend on an NFT. Buy Bitcoin. It's liquid. It has a decade of price history. It has real network effects. It has institutional adoption. It has nation-state adoption. It can't be copy-pasted into infinite competing collections. You can sell it any time at market price. No gas wars, no wash trading, no fake floors, no celebrity rug pulls, just Bitcoin. The unsexy asset that actually stores value. Every speculative bubble looks obvious in hindsight. NFTs in 2021 felt like it would never end. People making $50,000 per week convinced themselves it was skill, not timing. It was timing. They were in the right place at the right time. Most people who tried to replicate it later lost money. The lesson: if a speculative asset has already pumped 100 times and every influencer is talking about it, you're not early, you're late. The money was already made. You're just providing exit liquidity. Comment "lost money" if you bought NFTs and are still holding bags, or "never touched it" if you avoided the whole thing. Next video, I'm breaking down crypto pump and dump schemes, how they're organized, who runs them, and how to spot one before you become the exit liquidity. Subscribe to Unbanked. The old money had a head start. You have the internet.